Everybody, and welcome to the 5-Minute Marketing Webinar. Everybody should be muted, so you will be listening to me for the next 25 minutes or so. The hope is that we'll be recording this webinar today, and that will be provided to you at the end of the day, by the end of the day today. In addition, you will receive daily coaching emails as a result of attending today's webinar. If for some reason you need to cut out early or you would like to start the series of reminders, the daily coaching email reminders, on the email you receive, you will also receive a link to go ahead and restart that series anytime you wish, if you like having the daily reminders. All questions asked during the webinar will be provided as part of the follow-up for the email that you'll provide. So feel free to start asking questions anytime. We will get to them during the webinar as well as after it. In addition, that will also be provided for you as part of the follow-up from today's webinar. So I'm super excited about getting started today on this, the second of 3 webinars regarding the 5-minute marketing method. Today, we're focusing on social media and web-based tasks. We will be moving quickly because we do have a lot to get through. So just listen and take in the process. You'll receive everything you need in the daily coaching emails, I promise. So there's really no need to take any notes. So let's get started. My name is Karen Gunther. I'm with Stay Visible Marketing. Technically speaking, I'm the visibility wizard of Stay Visible Marketing because the point of doing marketing is to stay visible. And the point of Stay Visible Marketing is to help you stay visible to the right people at the right time. I provide marketing services, specifically consistent email marketing programs for companies all over the United States. And I help my clients reach out to their customers, their prospects, and their referring partners to stay visible so that they're top of mind when the opportunity comes up for somebody to need a product or service like yours. Your name will come top of mind because people have received consistent email marketing from you. Now, we are, Stay Visible Marketing and myself, we are a certified Constant Contact business partner. And I do thank Constant Contact for providing the opportunity to do this webinar series and to use their platform for that. So thank you very much to Constant Contact. To me, staying visible in marketing is all about being consistent, using automation, and delegating the tasks that need to be delegated so that you can put your personal time and effort on the most profitable actions every single day. So let's talk about how we're going to do that when it comes to social media and web-based tasks. Some of this will be a reminder for you if you attended the first webinar, but repetition is a good thing when it comes to marketing items. Not only is it good for people to see your items repetitively, but it's good for you to listen and hear what the right tools are repetitively as well. The 5-minute marketing method is all about just taking 5 minutes to do one additional task to get you through your day. And many of you might say, I don't have time to do one additional task. Trust me, you can find 5 minutes to do one additional task, especially these tasks. They can be done any time of the day. There's 1,440 minutes in a day. And I'm suggesting you that you just take 5 of them to get peace of mind and to move your business forward consistently. Our focus today is on the 6 tasks that are part of the social media and web-based task series. The last webinar was about direct reach outs. It was a huge success, and many people were actively working on their task and receiving response from the people that they were reaching out to. Was exciting to watch that happen. The next webinar is in 2 weeks, and that will be on getting organized, also very vital to working through your marketing methods as well. So this 5-minute marketing method provides you a way for you to activate your marketing on a daily basis. What's the problem? As I spoke to it before, there's too much work, too little time. You're a business owner, or you're a salesperson, you're pulled in multiple directions, but truly in the end, marketing fills the business pipeline, so it's necessary. You have to do it. Most business owners are not natural-born salespeople, and most natural-born salespeople also need to know the daily activities they need to do to ensure that they continue to reach those same revenue numbers and reaching their goals as they did at the beginning of their career. And the tasks I'm going over today are things that you may already know to do and you may not. Some of you may not be aware of some of the social media and web-based tasks that are available to you. but many of you are aware of these. So this is just a great reminder to go through and to take these actions on a daily basis. And the question is, why do you need to take these, to pay attention to this now? I love this cartoon because you're fighting a war out there in terms of sales. There's a million competitors out there that want to take the business away from you. There's competitors that you're going up against on bids. There's people that you're going up against who have interest in the same people you're interested in serving. And that's what we get to do when we're a business. We get to serve other people with the products and services that we provide to them. It's not only so much about making money, but it's also about providing a service. And so you need to have every tool in your arsenal available to you to be able to move forward and make and to win every single battle so you can end up winning the war. The point is that you need to work very smart and not hard. Work smart, not hard. And by investing 5 minutes a day, you're establishing an excellent habit to be able to go through and achieve the things that you see here on this slide. You want to work on your business, not in your business. So often we get caught up on the day-to-day tasks of working in our business that we don't take the time to take the extra 5 minutes to go through and do one additional task. And in the end, business owner after business owner that I've talked to over the years has said, when they take these actions, they have peace of mind. They're sleeping better at night. They know that they've done something to help themselves for their business every single day. So how do we do it? This is the second of 3 webinars that focuses on simple daily marketing tasks. Today's webinar is focused on social media and web-based tasks. So you will need your social media list and web-based list. You'll need to set your timer for 5 minutes, and you'll need to have no interruptions. That's all you have to do. That's how you do it. Know your tasks, set your timer, and make sure you don't have any interruptions. Specifically for these exact tasks that we're talking about today, they can be done anytime, day or night. You wake up in the middle of the night, you can't sleep, you can do one of these tasks, check it off for the day. You have an extra few minutes before you walk into an appointment, you can do one of these tasks. This is a fabulous series in this webinar of showing you how powerful it is to take that extra 5 minutes to advance your business forward, and they can be done anytime, day or night, in or out of the office. So what are these social media web-based tasks list? It gives, let's talk about them. So web-based and social media. Most people are really scared of social media, and I understand that, trust me. Many people come to me and say, but I don't like going on LinkedIn. I don't want to go on Facebook. I don't even know what Instagram is. And what is Snapchat? I don't understand. But really, in the end, you've been doing all of this for years. I guarantee you, you already know how to do all of this. It just looks different. It's just a different methodology. It's just a different tool to achieve the same aim. The point is to connect with people and to be visible. Before you would pick up the phone and call somebody, now you can send them an email. Before you would keep your contacts in a Rolodex or an address book of some form, or you'd have a binder with a bunch of business cards in it. I remember I did that 25 years ago. And now you have LinkedIn. You want to connect with somebody, you go on LinkedIn and get their information. It's very simple. Everything you already know how to do is still happening today. It's just done with different tools. So these are the tasks. Why are these important? These are important because when you go on social media and you take the time to do the research that you need to do on clients and such, it shows participation and makes you stand out. You have a genuine interest in your prospects and in supporting others. You're able to move your website forward. You're able to find new content to add to proposals, to your sales language, and it connects you with your industry. These tasks are so pivotal. I mean, the direct reach outs were amazing because they actually got you connected to people. These help you get connected to a wider swath of people and to understand more fully what's going on in your industry. So these are the social media and web-based tasks that we're going to be talking about. And let's get started. Task number 1, connecting with 3 people on LinkedIn. Could you do me a favor? Could you please just log into LinkedIn? I beg of you. It's like the one thing that I'm always begging my clients to do is, could you please just log onto LinkedIn? You are going to be surprised to see not only who is on there, but what they're posting, what they're publishing, what they're liking. You're going to be surprised to see who changed what job. You're going to be surprised to see that somebody you haven't seen for 20 years is now on LinkedIn and in a new position that might help you get into a new company or help you make a connection to somebody you want to connect with. So it's really not only about you being visible on LinkedIn, but seeing who else is visible on LinkedIn. So the point of this task is to get onto LinkedIn and is to connect with 3 people. And when you connect with 3 people, you go through and you find their name, you request to connect. It's always suggested that you add a little note. So the person, even though you know the person well, it's always nice to get a little note added. And then you send the request. That's it. You just need to connect with 3 people on LinkedIn. Would I love to have you do this daily? Absolutely. Would I settle for once a month? Yes, I will. Absolutely. Because it's just so important. The other key benefit to connecting with 3 people on LinkedIn is that you have an opportunity, once you connect with the people on LinkedIn, to have access to their contact information. You have access to their email if they provide their phone number, their company name, their company address if it's listed. And in the resource that you will receive on Friday, which is your first actual coaching email for task number 1 will be on Friday, you will receive how-tos on not only how to connect with people on LinkedIn, but you will also receive the how to export your contacts from LinkedIn. You're going to love this, I guarantee you. You're going to be, like I said, you're just be prepared to be surprised. That's what this entire webinar is about, is being surprised about what you find and what you learn when you go out there on the web. The third item that you get as a result of connecting with people on LinkedIn is that you get visibility. As you connect with them, they remember you, they have to think about you, and then if you choose to, you can send a follow-up email to them or message to them after they've connected with you, thanking them for connecting with you and seeing if there's anything you can do to assist them if it's appropriate for that time of the in the sales process or in the conversation process to do something like that. Task number 2 is doing research on a prospect that you're pursuing. Regardless of whether you're in a consumer-based business or a business-to-business model, you can always do research on the people that you want to do business with or want to be in contact with. It's really all about putting the puzzle together. And in the coaching email that you'll be provided on Monday, you'll have a whole section of ways to go and do the searches, where to go, what to look for, and what to do. But the point of this is, and that's what I want to talk about today, is why you want to do this, is the more knowledgeable you are, the more able you are to be of service to that person. The other key thing that you might find out is that when you go and research either the person or the company, you might find out that it's the wrong person and you should be talking to somebody else. So that's important. And then the other piece that you also want to identify is that if you do want to communicate with them, let me start over with that. You might find out that they're not a good prospect, so you will save yourself a lot of time. And you might find out that their competitor is actually a better prospect for you, so that's also good. You may find out that the person you're thinking that you need to connect with is not the right person to connect with, so that's another good idea. Once again, you'll be provided all these opportunities to learn about the client and figure this out. The other piece that's super interesting about this is that when you're investigating somebody on LinkedIn, you can see who else that they are connected with. And by seeing who else they're connected with, you can see if you know those people, and then you can maybe potentially get a warm introduction. So this is just, once again, it's invaluable to take this 5 minutes to just go online, do a few quick things. You can use the automation to help you through this as well with the Google News sending automated information to you when they come up in the news, things of that. Be surprised. Once again, this is going to be the standard for today's webinar, is just be surprised at what you're going to find and what you're going to learn. Task number 3, looking at your website. You might ask me, why do I need to look at my website? I already know what my website looks like. I built it, don't you know? Well, the reality is that many people set it and forget it when it comes to their website. So the key is that you want to make sure at least once a month, if not more, you go into your website and you take a look at it. You want to look and make sure it's mobile friendly. You want to make sure that you are able to see it on different types of devices and how it appears on different types of devices. You might want to check the images. Maybe some of the images need to be updated. Maybe some of the wording needs to be updated. I can tell you every single time I go on a website, I find a typo. On websites I go across for personal use as well as, professional use, there's always a typo. There's always something that can be adjusted or fixed. And it's just important to make sure that you're keeping track of the sale of this living sales tool. Okay, this sales tool is available to your clients, to your prospects, to your people that you're trying to connect with 24/7. So make sure it looks the best that it can. Somebody recently sent me a article which was fascinating, and it's included in the follow-up, the task for this day, a link to it so you can read it for yourself. It's the 3 reasons why people go to the web, and it will be in the coaching email. The first reason is that people are doing informational queries. 80% of the people who go onto the web are looking for information. So the question you have to ask yourself is, does my website provide answers to the questions that people who use my product or service need? That's the question you have to ask. Am I providing that information for the product or service that I provide? The second reason people go on is transactional. They just want to go on, buy something, get off. And the third reason is 10% also, same as transactional, is navigational. They just go to a direct website, go get the information they need, and then they get off. But 80% of the reason why people go on the websites is in order to get information. The last and most important part of this task is if you see a typo, if you see a image that needs to be changed out, if you want to change a color, if you want to change bolding, whatever it is you want to do, could you please either handle it right then if you manage your own website or send it to your web person? Just open an email, open your website, go through and look at a few things, ask your web person to do the update. I guarantee you will be very happy. The important thing is that it gets done. And just knowing that it needs to get done is one thing, but asking somebody to take care of it is what gives you peace of mind at night. Task number 4 is to look at your LinkedIn newsfeed. No, we're not able to get away from LinkedIn here. I'm sorry. There's 2 tasks here on this list that deal with LinkedIn. It is that important. So I'm begging you again, just go on LinkedIn. I want you to like 3 posts and comment on 1 post. So why do that? What's the point of it? Well, like I said before, you're going to be surprised at what people are posting, the information that they're putting up. You're going to be very interested to see who has moved from what company to another. People have birthdays, anniversaries, company employment anniversaries, things of that nature that come up. And LinkedIn offers you all these opportunities to connect with people. So this is a way for you to connect. When you like somebody's post, it works towards the algorithm. It's a big word everybody talks about these days, is the algorithm. Well, the algorithm is this, is that when you like somebody's post, you're elevating their post, you're elevating their visibility, and by elevating their visibility, you're also elevating your visibility. So not only are you helping them, but you're also helping yourself. If you really want to be bold, share something that you see. If you see somebody published an article that, like one of the industry organizations that whose feed you like, publish something that's specific to your business or industry or the product or service you sell, go ahead and share it on your own timeline. Again, it increases the visibility for them, increases the algorithm for both of you, and shared content reaches more people. I've included a link to an article that talks about how important it is. It talks about employees, but it really works across the board of how important shared content is, and how important it is that there's interaction on LinkedIn, to like posts, to share them, to comment on them. Commenting is also very key, because when you go in and comment, everybody sees your name. So if you scroll down the news feed and you've made a comment, other people will see that as well. And therefore, now you're top of mind to all the people that are seeing that post, and that post will be seen by more people because it has been liked and it has been commented on. So it goes viral. That's a great way of putting it. It goes viral. So it increases your brand, it makes you more credible, and it makes you more visible. These are all great reasons to go onto LinkedIn, like 3 posts, comment on 1, and you'll be off to the races. Task number 5, looking at your manufacturers, competitors, or vendors' websites. So, why would you want to do that? Well, first and foremost, you want to keep up to date. Why is that? Because you've got a battle to fight, right? You've got to get out there. You've got to know what everybody else is doing so that you understand where you are in the process. You need to know with your manufacturers, have they added new resources, tools, things that you could use while you're on sales calls? Have they added new images that maybe you could add to your own website, which ties into the other task? With your competitors, why would you look at your competitors' website? Well, what are they doing? How are they keeping up? Have they maintained their website? Are they leaving the same website up that they've had for the last 10 years, or are they, changing things and moving along with the times? The point is to get ideas, not only from your competitors, but from your manufacturers and vendors that you work with, seeing what they're doing, seeing if you can do it better, being inspired. Once again, you're learning. Every time you go on the web, you can learn. It's just this, like, it used to be the Encyclopedia Britannica that you would look at. Now you look at the web, and it's just all very current information. And always understand that your manufacturers or vendors are also looking at your website. So if you want to make sure that you're upholding any contracted marketing opportunity, make sure that they're shown properly on your website. Understand that your competitors are also looking at your website too. So people should be going out and taking a look at what their competitors are doing, what their manufacturers and vendors are doing. You don't need to do much with the information. You just need to go and look and see what they're doing. With the manufacturers and vendors, you can see if they have any specific new blog posts, or even if they have new products or new installations or new examples of projects that they've done. And then you can take the URL from the URL portion of the screen and add that into LinkedIn and create a post out of that and say, gosh, just saw this, great installation posted on XYZ website, wanted to share it. Doesn't it look great? Instant post, instant opportunity to be visible on LinkedIn. You've supported their brand, you've made them more visible, in addition to making yourself more visible, and you're sharing their product, which then provides the opportunity for people to see the service that you do provide. It's just a wonderful circular opportunity to help people with their advertising while you're helping them yourself with yours. And be inspired by what they do well. Whether it's your competitor, your manufacturer, your vendor, whoever it is, just be inspired by the parts that they do well and see what you could do to emulate that. The last task that you're going to be tasked with doing is task number 6, which is reviewing the website of your industry organizations. We talked about this a little bit before in regards to the direct reach outs, and I'm going to talk about it again and do the same request that you go on and you take a look at your industry organizations. If you don't know who your industry organizations are, there's ways of looking for that, but most of you do know who your industry organizations are, or people that are allied with you. You want to see what they're putting on their website. You want to see if they've added any new information, tools, resources, just the same as your manufacturers and vendors. You want to see if they've added any of that, because if they have, then that's things that you can use to help with your sales process and with you in servicing your clients as well as your prospects. You can also look and see their membership lists and their business advisor or business partner lists to see if there are any other people that you could add as referring partners to your arsenal of people who you talk with and reach out to. In addition to that, the ever most important, event calendar. I want you to look at the event calendar. I want you to find an event that you can go to, and I want you to invite a guest to that event. Yes, same request that was done in the direct reach out sections, because it is that important. It's important that you be visible personally as well as online and on email. So you want to be able to walk into that event. You're going to see prospects, referring partners. You're going to see who your competitors are talking to. If you invite a client or a prospect or a referral partner to go with you, then that means you'll both go. Because if you each have somebody to go with, then generally that means you'll go, right? So it confirms and cements that you will actually show up to something that you intended to go to. Many people do not like going to events, but I can tell you you can see who your competitors are talking to. You can build a relationship with the person that you went with. And again, if it's one of those informational talks and speaker seminars, you might be surprised at what you learn. Again, be inspired, be surprised, be informed about what's happening out there in your industry. And what you're doing is you're creating an opportunity for yourself to be seen. And it increases your credibility because you become a real person. So I highly suggest that not only do you look at the industry organization website just for the actual facts and of what they do, but also look at it in terms of the events that they hold. So these are the social media and web-based tasks that we have talked about. There are 6 of them. In total, there are 20 daily tasks. And the reason there are 20 daily tasks in total, we did 7 on the first webinar, 6 on this one, and then the Get Organized will also have 7, so there's a total of 20, is because there's generally 20 business days in the month, minimum. So that means every business day, Monday through Friday, you should be able to sit down and take 5 minutes and do one of these tasks. At the end of the after the end of the third webinar, you'll be provided a full list of 20 that you can keep on your desk, and you can just check off, choose the one you want to do that day, and check it off, and then just know that you took your 5 minutes and then you did that one additional task to help move your business forward. We went through each of these. Once again, you will be receiving a daily coaching email if you attended this webinar. If you know other people who have an interest in learning about some of this, feel free to take the email that you'll be sent tonight with the webinar recording, the slide deck, and the questions answered, and provide that and forward that to them. People should be doing these tasks. Do I personally benefit from you doing these tasks? No, I don't. I'm here to be of service to you. I want you to do these tasks because I want your business to grow. That's how important this is. And I'm taking my time to show you how to do these things because these are simple tasks and I want you to excel in your business. It's that important to me. So let's see here. Wouldn't it be easier to take a pill? Yes, I showed this slide in the last webinar, and it's such a good one. I can't help but show it in this one, and you'll probably see it in the next one too. You can't just take a pill. You have to do these tasks. You have to take 5 minutes a day for yourself and for your company. These are simple tasks. Just take the plunge. This is just the new form of data gathering and connecting. It's the same thing you've been doing your entire career. It just looks different now. So the point is to put your plan into action, and this is the plan. You attended the webinar today. Tomorrow, you'll be receiving an email to tell you to get prepared for the tasks that you have to do, making sure your LinkedIn credentials work, the prospects you want to research, which competitor and supplier, manufacturer you want to check out, things of that nature. And then on Friday, you'll receive an email to nudge you to take action. Oops, going too fast here. To take action and do the first task, which is getting into LinkedIn. So I just beg of you to just do it. I guarantee you will be pleasantly surprised at the results. We will send you an email each business day, starting tomorrow and through to next Friday, with a reminder to do that task that day. At the bottom of each email, there will be an opportunity for you to say that you did the task. And if you did the task, then you can hit that little black button and put your name and email address and identify which task you did, and you'll be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card, which will be awarded on October 5th once this 3-part series and coaching days are complete. If you're listening to this webinar at a time frame outside of September 2018, you'll see in the questions answered section how we're handling that moving forward. Again, for this series, you will receive your daily task via email. So you have your task. You will be able to set your timer, and you'll have no interruptions. And again, you can do any of these tasks 24/7, guaranteed. So September 19th is the next 7 tasks on getting organized to help you work on your business versus in your business. And as a reminder, if you attend all 3 webinars or you sign up to attend all 3 webinars, you will get a bonus resource on what you need to know about your website. It's an 11-point series of exactly the websites you can go to do websites a review and research to see where your website stands in the community. And so just an added bonus for you to go ahead and attend the last webinar on September 19th. Now let's take a look at some of the questions we have in the time we have left. Let's see, all sorts of questions here. What about articles? Somebody's asking about the articles they read. Do you have to have permission to post the article? If the article is on a website, that person's website, they would probably be delighted to have you share that article. In fact, in many cases, if there's articles, you'll see that there's a sharing link where you can share it to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever, whatever your social media platform of choice is, and they'll be delighted to have you share that article. You don't have to have their permission to share it overtly because most people want their information to get out there. So unless it says, copyright and do not reprint, which you wouldn't be printing because you're not printing it and handing it out, you're actually posting it online. You're not saying that you're the one that actually wrote it. You're just saying, I found this great article, isn't this wonderful? And you're supporting the work that they do. And another person asked a question about how they're terrified of making a comment. When it comes to LinkedIn and to doing posting on LinkedIn, start small would be my suggestion. If you find an article that you, or a post that you like on LinkedIn, I would say, wow, this is a great article. Thank you for sharing. That's all you need to say. Great article. Thank you for sharing. I saw a post last night myself when I was on LinkedIn of one of my clients that I'm working with. It was a new contact they had given me 6 months ago to work with. And she was living in Orange County, California, and now she's moved to Seattle. And that was the announcement. And I'm like, great, okay, good. Now I know where she is and I can reach out to her. I did a congratulations on your promotion post because I was super excited for her. When you see that people have changed jobs or moved jobs, it's very easy to say congratulations. So start small and keep it simple. Don't think about needing to craft something large. Anything that's literally 10 words or less is perfectly acceptable. So truly, it's important to just make sure you get visible and that you start small with what you can be visible, with what you can do and say. Let's see here. Oh, great question. This is the question. I get a number of LinkedIn connection requests from people outside my industry. Is it appropriate for us to do the same? Let me change this over first so you have this information. There you go. I get a number of LinkedIn connection requests from people outside of my industry. Is it appropriate for us to do the same? Absolutely. There is no reason why you can't. Technically, the rule of law for LinkedIn is that if you know somebody, they want you to connect with this person. Their intention is that you've gone to a networking event, you've met with somebody in person, you've been introduced to somebody, then you go on LinkedIn, you look up their information and you request the connection. The other way to do it is to look up, many of my clients work with facility managers, it's just part of the industry that I come from, facilities managers. So you type in facilities managers for your geographic area and people that are a second connection. It's all very foreign words, I know, just work with me here. And then people just go and they serially connect with those people even though they don't know them. And my suggestion, if you're going to do that, is to always add a note so people understand that you're going to be marketing to them by connecting with you, that you're going to be marketing with them. And you can accept their connection that they request of you if it's an appropriate person. Half the time you can tell they're just trying to sell you something. So it's your decision as to whether you want to be sold to by that person or be part of their marketing process. You can absolutely connect with anybody you want on LinkedIn for any reason at all. You connect with people you go to church with, people you see at Little League, whatever. It just doesn't. It doesn't matter. You can connect with anybody you want. You want to make sure, though, that if you are going to be reviewing your LinkedIn lists for inclusion on your email list that you do make sure that you are only adding those people that you actually personally know or know are correct people to be receiving anything additional for your marketing process. Another great question, should you comment on a competitor's post on LinkedIn? It's personal choice, but I wouldn't. why would I want to give my competitor visibility? I wouldn't want to debunk anything that they're saying because I don't want to look like I'm being negative. I wouldn't want to support what they're saying because I don't want them to get more visibility. If anything, I would then post something similar almost immediately so that both sets of information are in the feed for people to look at for those of you who have similar contacts on LinkedIn. Okay, all sorts of questions here. Thank you, everybody. It's fantastic. You're commenting extensively regarding LinkedIn. What are your thoughts regarding the other major social media platforms when operating in a B2B environment? In a business-to-business environment, the #1 go-to for social media is LinkedIn. It was recently bought a year or so ago by Microsoft, and it is 100% focused on the business community and the business environment. Yes, you can go on Twitter, but that's more of a branding opportunity. And you're based on when other people are interested in going and looking at that and following you. You can also go on Instagram and Facebook and all of those other things. All of those will provide you with branding opportunity and help elevate your search rankings on Google. Because when Google goes to look to find out who you are, if you're a credible website, they're going to look and see if you're on the different social media platforms, if you have activity on those platforms. But really, when it comes down to it, for a business-to-business environment, you absolutely want to focus a majority of your attention on LinkedIn. And there are tools out there such as Hootsuite, Tumblr, and a few other things that I think it's called Tumblr, that allows you to post to multiple platforms at one time. So if you're doing a post to LinkedIn, you can also identify that that post should also go on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and any other service that you choose. So the same information is getting out everywhere, but really everything needs to be directed, in my opinion, towards LinkedIn for business to business. For business to consumer environments, for services and products that are built towards consumers, you do want to look at Facebook. That's a super important area to look at, as well as Instagram. And as many people know, Facebook owns Instagram. Okay, another great question. Should I accept requests from people that I might or might not ever use? What about the people that send requests to me that I'll never have business with? That's always a personal choice. I receive a lot of requests all the time. Many of the requests I get are from other marketing companies, and I choose to not accept those requests. I'll ignore those requests. I'll ignore requests that are specifically look like they're trying to sell me something rather than provide me with information. I do try to keep my LinkedIn a bit more clean in terms of making it prospects, referral partners, and clients. If I have friends that are industry that I'll never, it's only if I personally know the people, like if I will be able to, if I link in with them otherwise, but I tend to be a bit more specific for my own personal use of LinkedIn. For somebody else, it doesn't hurt. If they're not obnoxious in the way they make the request, in terms of some people, and we're sure we've all received these, we receive an invitation from somebody and it's just spelled poorly or it just looks like an overt sales thing, I would say no to those, especially if you don't know them. But if they look like they're connected to other people you know, you never know. If they're part of your industry, it can't hurt to connect with them. Connections are just that, connections. One of the other questions we have here is, what if I don't have a LinkedIn account? Well, a lot of people still don't have LinkedIn accounts. I suggest that you get one. In fact, on the resource that you're going to receive on Friday, one of the resources is how to create a client-centric profile. So whether you have LinkedIn or not, it will walk you through the items that you need to have on your profile to have it be client-centric, to be able to have it so that you are able to see look at your profile the way a client would or a prospect would, and make sure that information's on there. Many people think LinkedIn is just about trying to find a job, and it's become so much more than that. And we need to honor that it has become so much more than that. And one of the things that's so important about the LinkedIn profile is to have a photo. People do want to see who you are and see your picture of who you are. So, because they want to get to, they'll have, right, if they're looking through, 6 John Smiths, or the 3,000 that are probably on LinkedIn in the area that you would be looking in, and they see your picture because they saw you at that networking event, then they'll know it's actually you. So that is something that you want to make sure that you also do. Let's see here, what other questions are there? Okay, here's another great question. Should I add affiliated companies to my website to support them? When you have a website, you have what's called backlinking, which means that you're linking back to somebody else's website. So if you decide, like for my marketing business, I can have links to the search engine company I use, to the website building company I use, to the social media company that I use, that crafts those for me, for my clients. I can go through and I can say, these are the service providers I use, or I can somehow work it in. And what that does is it helps increase the credibility for my site and for theirs for Google. So by adding that onto my website, I'm helping both myself and that other company. You generally want to get permission from that other company before you do that, and suggest that they do the same and ask that they do the same with their website to include you on that. Okay, we've got just a couple minutes left. Let's see, what other questions do we have? Oh, what if I don't like going to events? That's always a good question. Okay, just so you know, most people don't like going to events. The opportunity to see people face to face terrifies people. It just does. Very few people actually enjoy it, and if they do, then good for them. But most of us, we generally don't care for that. We don't like taking the time. We don't like driving there. We don't like eating the stale chicken. We don't want to have to, sit there and watch the same people talking about the same things. But the reality of it, it's truly the best investment of your time to go to see the people, and there's many, and a lot of them all in one place. I have a good but sad example of that. I was part of a large industry event in Orange County, and there's generally 300 to 500 people at this event at any given time. And I was there, and I had just started my company, and a now client showed up and said, "Karen, I've been trying to reach you." And I looked at this person, I'm like, "Who are you? I don't even know who you are." And he introduced himself to me and said he'd been trying to get a hold of me and he couldn't find my phone number anywhere. And as a marketing person, that's pretty sad. But he asked around when he was at the event, and he found me, and we've been doing business for the last 5 years. So it's just, you never know what's going to happen when you show up to a networking event. And needless to say, my phone number is now plastered everywhere so that people can find me if they need to, and learn my lesson the hard way, like many of us do. One of the other hard things about going to an event is that many people don't know what to say. So I generally walk in with a couple of phrases in my head of things I can say or questions I can ask. So I feel more confident if there's a lull in conversation and we've gone through where have you been lately? What vacation have you gone on lately? And then it's time to either continue the conversation or move on. If I want to be prepared for a network event, I will actually walk in with questions already developed in my head. You can say, for example, things I might say is, "I'm really excited to be at this event. Isn't it wonderful to be able to support the XYZ organization or XYZ person, that they're highlighting at this event? Isn't that wonderful?" Just a very simple, blasé statement to be able to make, but it helps to have those phrases. You can also ask something that's pertinent to your business, such as, like I would ask this, tell me a little bit more about the marketing emails that are coming to you and what you like about them. I'm not asking them to do business with me. I'm not asking them if they do email marketing. I'm asking them what marketing emails come to them and what they like about them. Because strangely enough, there's a lot of email marketing that comes to you on a daily basis. Some of it is fantastic and some of it is really bad. So it's interesting for me to know and to learn from other people what they find to be a good email. So I'm always, because that's good data point for me, and then the conversation gets started about email marketing and how important it is. And they might know somebody who could use my services, they could use my services, or they could just understand more about who I am and what I do, and that's good. You know, there's what more do you want in life, right? And so yes, so it's important to know that you never know who is going to refer you business. So it's important to go to those industry events and to say, hey, who does, you know, whatever your area of expertise is. For me, it's email marketing. How are, you know, what emails do you receive and what do you like about them? Very side door way of talking about the same exact thing that you actually want to talk about, and it's not threatening or offensive. So that's all the time we have for today. You will be receiving all of this via email later today. The first daily email will start tomorrow. The first task email, you'll receive that on Friday. This has been recorded, so you can go back and reference it. Feel free to share it with anybody you wish. Know that I do provide consistent email marketing programs for companies all over the United States, and I want to thank Constant Contact again for supporting this webinar series. Thank you so much, and have a great day, everyone.